Take a moment to, again, thank these wonderful, wonderful dancers who remind us about grace and beauty as we come here to this magnificent island and celebrate the culture, the food, and celebrate everything that is fabulous about this island. So let's give another round of applause to our dancers here today. You know, we have such close ties with Puerto Rico, New York, and this beautiful place that go back such a long time. And I'm always reminded that these bonds are tight. And I don't see any scenario where they'd ever be severed, but we come here every year to deepen those ties. We've stood with Puerto Rico through good times and bad. And I cannot tell you how proud I am to be the home of over 1 million Puerto Ricans. They add such vitality to our community, new restaurants and small businesses, and the work they do in policing our streets and teaching our children. And I just always want to honor them when I come back to this beautiful place of their origin. You know, we think about some of the initiatives we've launched, the Economic Opportunity Advisory Council, led by our Secretary of State, Robert Rodriguez, who's joined us. We've collaborated with the New York City-based Office of Puerto Rican Federal Affairs Administration, something that was important to our colleague, Richie Torres, when we announced this a couple years ago, to make it easier for Puerto Ricans in New York to be able to receive the services that they're in search of. And we've developed partnerships related to mental health, clean energy, and more. Today we're going to write the next chapter in this partnership, and I'm here with the leaders who are going to help make that become a reality. Frankie Miranda, the president and CEO of the Hispanic Federation, and again, Robert Rodriguez, the president of DASNY and the former Secretary of State. So let's talk about our kids. We saw the beautiful talent showcased here just a few minutes ago. And I've made protecting the youth one of the top priorities in my administration. I've had youth mental health listening sessions convened all over the state of New York. And what I've heard sometimes is sad, shocking, depressing, but also I come back after a gathering with young people and say, we have to do more. A lot of these young people are struggling. And especially for Latinas, young girls. I remember holding a round table in the Bronx a few years ago and hearing their stories of how the adjustment into society is sometimes harder for them because of the cultural differences from where they came from and how they were raised and what the expectations are on teenage girls in society today. It's real. It's profound. And when you think about where this leads some young women to, the suicide rate among Latinas has jumped up from 5.7 to 7.9 per 100,000 just in the last decade. These are numbers that should be going down, not going up. And for Hispanic kids, this is shocking. Hispanic children 12 years and younger, the suicide rate increased by 92.3%. So to fight this, we have to invest in solutions that work. And we're trying a broad-based approach in the state of New York, including mental health clinics for children in schools, making that therapy, the support available easily for them. But also, we're here in this beautiful museum for a variety of reasons, but one is to announce that the Office of Children and Family Services will be giving $1 million to the Hispanic Federation. We'll partner with Lin-Manuel Miranda and Flamboyant, the organization that brought us here today, and talk about how we can bring more arts education and programming to at-risk youth here in Puerto Rico. Now, this is not just about enjoyment and expressing yourselves. It's about investing in strategies that actually have a long-term prospect of being successful, to give young people a healthy outlet and supportive systems. It's always linked to higher test scores, improved mental health, and stronger social and emotional skills. Of course, there's other challenges facing Puerto Rico. We know how Mother Nature has taken out her wrath on this beautiful place so many times. It's been hit harder by extreme weather than just about anywhere else in the United States. Like in 2022, my first year as governor, Hurricane Fiona just ravaged this place. And so we're always ready to help our neighbors. And so I've directed significant action to continue help, deploying first responders, coordinating supply delivery, and strengthening emergency management partnerships between my Department of Homeland Security and what is done here in Puerto Rico. But here's what's important. As these threats increase, as we understand the vulnerabilities, as we try to build up more resilient grids, we have to also not just focus on the power grids, but the telecommunications grid. And that's why I'm announcing the state of New York will direct $300,000 to Caribbean Preparedness and Disaster Relief. That's an organization that's working to build a resilient telecommunications grid so first responders can communicate with each other when disasters hit. It's new infrastructure that we're helping fill the gap so police officers and ambulance and EMTs can communicate across the island. So those are two announcements we want to talk about while I'm here in person. We're going to continue these relationships onward as I return to New York. But also, I just want to remind everyone, we have stood together for many, many years. That bond grows stronger and more resilient. And we've seen the test of time. And I just want the people of this beautiful island to know that we are there for them. Whatever their needs are, it'll be a compassionate approach because this is part of our familia. And so many Puerto Ricans in New York expect this of us, and I'm very happy as the Governor of New York to deliver, deepening the friendship with these announcements here today.